The worst tornado ever recorded, Joplin, 2011.
May 22nd, 2011.
This is a very dangerous situation. If you are in Joplin, please take cover.
Oh, no, it's behind it. Oh, good God.
It's a massive tornado, massive destruction.
Have not found anyone alive, only found bodies.
An ordinary Sunday, it became the deadliest tornado of the century. That was only the beginning. What really happened that day?
It tore open the school that quickly.
To understand it, we need to go back to 2011. That year is etched onto memory as one of the deadliest, most active tornado seasons on record. Hundreds of lives lost, thousands forever marked. Meteorologists observed troubling signs, aggressive atmospheric fronts, and unusual instability. On April 27th, the atmosphere burst open, unleashing over 200 twisters from the void.
What happened is it was a perfect recipe for a weather alert nightmare.
They tore through the southern and eastern U.S., from Texas to Pennsylvania.
First responders who were here were so busy
64 dead. Wow.
pulling the living from all of this debris, they were forced to ignore the dead. That's how bad this is. You can hear the sound of smoke detectors in the distance, but no one's here. There's the smell of death.
Homes are pulverized. There is a church up there that is just now a concrete slab. You can't even see where the wood and things that made up the church are.
In less than 60 seconds, the tornado had destroyed half the homes in town. The strongest tornado to hit Mississippi in more than 50 years.
These are the most devastating storms and tornadoes this community has seen since at least 1974.
For 4 days, a storm of biblical scale swept through the region. Nearly 360 tornadoes carved a path of destruction. Textbooks would later refer to it as the 2011 super outbreak.
The huge outbreak of tornadoes in late April.
In different parts of the world, there were just like big ass tornadoes going off simultaneously. That is wild.
2011 was so bad that it earned a special name, super outbreak of 2011. Only once before, April 1974, did an outbreak get named a super outbreak.
Locals barely had time to catch their breath before the dust settled. Tragedy struck again. On May 22, 2011, Joplin faced the costliest tornado in modern U.S. history. How did it happen? It started like a postcard spring morning. In northeast Joplin, families gathered to celebrate graduation, laughter in the air, hugs all around, talk of futures just beginning. But there was something hidden, something no one saw unfolding. 190 miles to the
Oh my gosh, dude, that is so sad. Imagine it's your graduation day. You're all happy and excited. It's your last day ever being in school.
west, the sky was starting to stir. Meteorologists were on high alert, watching every signal. 1:30 p.m. Tornado Watch 341 was issued. The probability? 15%. For a town that heard it all before, such warnings didn't sound like much. Nothing new. Another routine alarm. People were simply exhausted from living in constant survival mode. Unfortunately, familiarity dulls our instincts. Waiting could be a risky habit. 4 p.m. A thunderstorm appeared on radar. It rapidly intensified into a supercell. Then it merged with another, forming a spiraling vortex thousands of feet tall. Air begins to spin like a drill. A mesocyclone locked onto Joplin like a target. 5:09 p.m. The National Weather Service issued a tornado warning for Jasper and Newton. The countdown began.
We're in western Joplin, so that's looking to the northwest. As we mentioned before, a high precipitation supercell, so that means you're not going to be able to see a tornado if there in fact is one on the ground. Right now it looks like we just have some reports.
Dang, so the weather was so bad that they couldn't even see the damn tornado.
But final clap.
5:17 p.m. The warning was updated. 28 sirens wailed across the city. Emergency alerts echoed on the radio, TV, and weather channels. This time, the storm would teach a harsh lesson. Sirens aren't always heard, especially with windows closed. The hills and valleys created sound distortion, while rain and hail further masked the threat. A survey found 10% of residents, up to 5,000 people, were unaware of the warning. Of the 90% who did, 84% took the NWS alert seriously. 77% said they headed to the safest place they could find.
Man, that is looking ugly. That's the tornado siren. Man, look at that. Well, that's not good.
"5:29 p.m. On meteorologist screens, the Hook echo became crystal clear. A strike was inevitable.
We've got some information on this storm. Let's go ahead and go to the Freeman First Alert Doppler radar. Galena is reporting, trained weather spotters in Galena are reporting now sightings of funnel clouds. Caitlin, you were telling me about that just a moment ago.
5:34 p.m. The tornado made landfall on Joplin's southwest side.
Public report, meaning that one of their train spotters hasn't seen it, but there's our tower cam.
And that would appear to be a power flash. That could be from a light.
It up in the top left. I would never live in the Joplin area.
Lightning strike, but that is the portion of the storm that we have been concerned with.
Tornado sirens once again.
Tornado sirens once again going off in Joplin. Those are
Look at that lightning, bro.
definitely
that does look
power
like
flashes that we are seeing on the ground.
TV networks and phone lines were going down. No way to carry calm professionalism anymore. No need. What they saw was terrifying. In moments, the studio was filled with voices of anxiety and fear.
Take cover.
Yes, please.
Right now.
Please
I am telling you to take cover.
Take cover right now.
We do have a
Folks,
tornado on the ground.
This is a tornado. Yeah, this is a very dangerous situation. We cannot stress this enough. If you are in Joplin, please take cover.
The broadcast cut out. Darkness begins to swallow the city. 5:37 p.m. Just 3 minutes later, the tornado slammed into St. John's Regional Medical Center. Inside, over 180 patients and medical staff. They had received the warning. Staff followed the protocol, but time was not.
Oh, wow. I feel so bad for like people that have to go through this shit. Like, we just had a tornado, not a tornado, but it was like a tornado drill where I work, and it is like, it's so scary because it's like, one, I've never seen a tornado, so I don't know, like I know what they look like, but like seeing one on a TV versus seeing one in front of you, in front of your eyes, it's a different feeling. And watching the clouds and the sky just morph into this whole different environment that you're used to seeing, it's so because to some people, this could be it. One of my coworkers, she's traveling. She's from New York, right? She's from New York, but she's in the state. And she was like, "Yo, like, what's going on? Do I need to call my family? Like, what's going on?" And we're like, "Yo, just relax. It's okay. It's just normal weather down here." But it's like it's so sad to think about because it's like we're trying to get residents out of their rooms, and it's like this could be it. And to some of the residents, it's like, "Oh, we don't care. We're all, we're dying."
On their side.
Hospital that's right here cannot take any patients because the hospital has no power. It was hit very, very hard. You can see nearly every window in the hospital has been damaged. The roof severely damaged. Every vehicle in the parking lot is a total loss. They've taken all their critical care patients to a neighboring hospital, and that hospital cannot take any more patients other than life-threatening injuries.
The tornado ravaged the hospital, knocking out the main power and backups. 5 patients and 1 visitor died on the spot. More followed in the days ahead. 5:39 p.m. Greenbrier Nursing Home. These would become the most harrowing minutes of a national tragedy, all within the walls of one building. It was a place for those who had already weathered their storms in life.
Did you hear that newscaster? Like, did you hear both of them whenever they were giving that announcement? Like, they were so scared. It's so sad. I don't mean to be a bitch, but it's like, fuck, the newscast is like freaking out. They're like, you need to seek help and find shelter as soon as you can. It's like shit like that happens.
And now, it stood directly in the path of another. Inside were around 90 people, elderly residents, visitors, nurses. The staff reacted quickly to the warning, guiding everyone into the interior hallway. They did everything right. Still, nothing is ever guaranteed. The hum turned into a growl, and the growl to a roar. The building trembled and collapsed. 21 lives gone in seconds. 5:40 p.m. The tornado reaches Joplin's downtown core. Homes are wiped off the map. A security camera captured.
Dude, I always told myself, if I seen a tornado, what would I do? Because like some motherfuckers, they be like, they see a tornado and they want to chase that shit. I got an adrenaline rush, I got a thrill, but I don't got a death wish. I am not chasing that.
The street disappearing frame by frame.
I remember when I was a little kid, I used to like dread whenever the sirens would come on once a month. I used to be so terrified of like even just thunderstorms, and maybe that's just because like, oh, you're a little kid so you're scared of storm, but to me it was more of the fact that I don't know what's out there when it's storming. Like if it's just like regular like thunderstorm, okay, big whoop.
However, the storm was only gathering force. Charging toward Joplin High School, several wings of the school vanished. Surveillance footage caught the moment wind tore through the hallways, windows exploded, walls caved, and ceilings crashed down. Had graduation not been relocated to a university campus miles away, it might have been the funeral of 400 more lives.
400 students, dude. And if it wasn't for the fact that they relocated, that's a blessing. Like that truly is. Like that, like the fact that they made the smart move to relocate tells you how big of a like concern this storm was.
Days later, pieces of the school were found over 60 miles from the city.
I just found this happy graduation, I don't know if it's a necklace or what it is, but this tornado happened at the same time that the graduation ceremonies were going on here in Joplin. The graduation ceremonies, thankfully, were not happening at the high school itself because the high school was demolished. So just one situation after another, there's a story kind of you walk around here.
The nearby Franklin Technology Center, the region's vocational training hub, was also struck. Everyone inside during the impact survived by some miracle. 5:42 p.m., nature's blind fury struck the Harmony Heights Baptist Church. Inside, over 50 congregants had taken shelter. The church's pastor was sightless, but tornadoes recognize no sanctity. They don't stop for reverence or human fragility. 3 lives were lost. Their bodies were found beneath the crumbled roof. One of them was the pastor's mother.
The best mother a man could ever have. The solo that I sang was a special song that she requested that I sing. Just about the end of the solo,
whenever we had our tornado drill or whatever, and we were getting everybody in like the hall, it scared one of the girls, the girl from New York, because like I said, she'd never been around that before. She's used to like hurricanes and shit. One of the residents who was staying there at the time was a pastor, so he started singing these church hymns, man, and like he was killing it, dude. This girl from New York is like freaking out. She's like talking to me and like one of the other coworkers, and she's like, "Are we gonna die?" And I was like, no, no. She's like, "I'm just saying, usually in like them horror movies when them pastors be singing like that, it's about to go down." I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna need you to simmer down." Like we're okay. We're okay.
Is when they let us know that we needed to take cover.
As a symbol of faith and resilience, the church was later rebuilt. 5:43 p.m. Tornado achieved peak intensity. Winds between 155 and 224 miles per hour.
Man, so this tornado really just like cut in half through the town, bro.
EF5, the highest on the enhanced Fujitas scale. For comparison, a Formula One car hits that speed at full throttle. But here, no track, no driver, no finish line. Much larger scale.
Tornado, you can see that it was taking out those transformers. Absolutely. It continues to push off to the east in Joplin.
Please do not go.
It really makes you wonder how close you have to be to like the tornado for it to suck you in.
Go outside and try to track this storm, folks. You can't see anything outside. It is rain wrapped. This is a dangerous, dangerous situation at this point in time.
The storm smashed into the Hampshire Terrace apartment complex. 12 more lives were taken. Dozens more changed forever. Then, like a detonation, it hit Rangeline Road.
So whenever it cut through, is it just like all dark and like gloomy, and then just a big ass storm just sweeps through, and then like it just goes on back to the regular weather like it didn't happen, or what? Because this shit looks like it went through pretty fast. Oh wow, dude.
In mere seconds, AT&T, Walmart, Pizza Hut, and Home Depot were obliterated. There was almost no way to survive in that area. Cars were wrapped around trees. Others were hurled into nearby businesses, over 200 meters from the parking lot. Metal twisted like foil. In one car, they later found an empty child's car seat. The driver was never identified.
At Joplin's Home Depot, the search and rescue personnel from Missouri Task Force 1 have not found anyone alive. They've only found bodies.
5:46 p.m. East Middle School, the roof being ripped into the sky. Windows exploded from inside pressure. Thankfully, the building was empty. 5:47 p.m. Fast Trip gas station. Customers crammed into the walk-in freezer, practically saying their goodbyes. The audio captured from inside is gut-wrenching, full of sorrow, rage, courage.
Everybody get down. Low on the ground.
Stuff's breaking in the back.
Yeah, I know.
Can we go in the cooler?
I'm glad that they're being calm in this. In moments like this, it's very easy to start panicking and freaking out. The fact that they were able to keep calm during all this, direct and guide them through this so calmly is amazing.
We're good. We're good. It's okay. It's okay. I think we're gonna do it.
The entire building was leveled, but the people inside survived. When they crawled out, the streets that had once raised them were unrecognizable. What had been alive with motion and sound, now piles of brick, shredded metal, and the smell of gas.
Oh, wow. Wow. Could you hear the kids in the back just screaming?
In the air.
Alright, here's the gas station that we were at. We parked right over there. Our car got blown away.
5:48 p.m. The tornado slashed across Interstate 44 at its last somber bounce. It flipped trucks like toys, left cars wrecked and scattered along the way. One eyewitness would later say, "It looked like a giant dropped its fist on the highway." There was a point when the disaster exited the city, but not completely, because under the rubble, voices cried for help. People were trapped. The death toll was still unknown. It was far too early to exhale. Hands were needed. 10 hospitals, doctors, everyone. So the entire city became a volunteer command center. Help poured in from neighboring states, from the north, from the south, with no orders, just human instinct.
Take a look. I mean, it's everything. It's just completely demolished. I mean, homes are destroyed. Families' lives have been turned upside down at this point. And people are just looking for their loved ones. They're looking for family members. If you take a look here at this neighborhood, all I can say is it looks very reminiscent of what we saw last month in... Excuse me. Yeah, it's tough. No question about that.
The tornado outlined a quarter of Joplin on the map. 4,000 families lost homes and years of life within them. 3,500 more homes were severely damaged. Over 1,000
I wonder if any of these people got like reimbursed or anything.
people were injured. More than 500 commercial buildings were destroyed. 10 schools, 2 hospitals, dozens of churches. Total damages, over $2.8 billion.
Is that just across the Joplin area?
But no number could account for the price of a life. Familiar voices, forever silenced. 156 chairs sat empty at family tables, and the total wasn't even final. The storm kept killing, even after the winds died. In the following days, a new enemy emerged, mucormycosis, a rare fungal infection spread from the drifted soil to open wounds in lungs. 18 cases.
Wow, so they got hit by a tornado. They then had to worry about soil debris that was getting in people's mouths and into their lungs.
5 more deaths. It took everything Joplin had, but fate did not break the city. It stood back up. Within 3 years, school bells rang again, the hospital reopened, and Mercy Park bloomed where ruins once lay. Only thunder, sleepless nights, old photos on shelves, and quiet memorials kept the pain alive. But so does the memory of quiet heroism. Christopher Lucas, Pizza Hut manager, saved 15 people by leading them into the freezer. He held the door shut from the outside with a belt, as it wouldn't lock from the inside. The tornado took him. Everyone else lived.
The only reason we survived is because he held the door shut with a strap.
He saved all those people and he held the door closed for them. Wow.
Wells, employee of a Home Depot, died holding the doors, saving strangers, literally holding the door between life and death. He managed to lead dozens of customers into a break room, the only shelter the store had, while heading back to help more. He was buried under the rubble of the wall. Don Lanshaw shielded his wife in the bathtub. The house turned into splinters. He didn't make it. She did. I felt him cover me. And then, he didn't move anymore. That was love. Stronger than death.
You know, he's my hero.
While shielding her body, Dawn was hit by debris and died of a puncture wound to the back.
Grace Aquino wrapped arms around her 11-year-old son as the church walls collapsed. He lived. She didn't. At her funeral, the pastor said she was a prayer made flesh. Cheryl Nelson, AT&T clerk, led a family with young children to run for shelter, stood by the door bracing it shut until the building gave way. 10 survived. She didn't. Mark Lindquist, social worker, covered 3 disabled clients with mattresses, then lay across them himself. All 3 died. Mark was thrown a block away. Coma.
But Lindquist kept fighting and proved doctors wrong. He came out of the coma and started asking questions.
Wow, so he tried to save some people and they ended up dying. He got to live. I can only imagine the guilt he had.
First words he said to me were, "Are my guys okay?"
And I had trouble dealing with that at first, but I realized that they're in a better place. And now instead of me watching over them, they're kind of watching down on me, and I actually feel like I have 3 angels.
After coming out of the coma, his life was put on hold again. He contracted a life-threatening fungus disease.
He saw an angel in a light green light, and he said at that point, I knew the fungus was gone. And very soon after, they told us he was free of the fungus.
He tried, and he lived to remember. The tornado took nearly everything, but it couldn't take human dignity. It couldn't take love. Take care of one another. Every storm eventually ends, but the way we hold each other, that remains.